Hello, everyone. My name is Tree Sap Thief, and welcome to another dev update for April 2026 for PFWolf. Look at that. 2 months in a row. That's pretty good. Progress. Yes, we are making progress. We are doing what I call refactoring. It's taking what's existing there today and kind of turning it into something else. In my case, everything is kind of accessible everywhere all at once. It wasn't really known at the time. C didn't really have scopes like that. So I'm taking the ID managers and turning them into my own. So I've got a video manager that handles everything from the binary to set it into SDL. So anything that draws SDL to the screen lives in that video manager. Nothing else will call a specific SDL thing. The next one is the graphics manager. That is taking like the stripes, the bars, the graphics, and everything and converting that to a binary format than what video manager takes. It's like the step in between. It's a little bit more complex, but it takes more stuff in. The next one is input manager. That one is taking Wolf 3D controls like attack and shoot. Those are the same. Attack, move, open, use, and turning them into one universal call that goes into SDL that goes, oh, that was a joystick button press, okay, or a mouse or a keyboard. But nothing in Wolf 3D's game should ever really go, I should check SDL specifically. The input manager does that for you. Then the last one we've got is the asset manager. That there is taking every single type of asset, sound, graphics, text, and managing it all in one place. This is something that I kind of came up with in some of the earlier versions of the game. It goes out and grabs stuff from the PK3, it grabs stuff from the original files, and it puts them all in a nice, manageable place. It overwrites them if you decide you want a different wall one or you want to replace a sound, but it doesn't get rid of the sound in the original files. It just replaces it in this particular spot. It's very, very basic. It's actually everything in there right now is all hard coded, but it's like an intermediate step between what I'm trying to do and where I want to be. I don't want to do it all at once because it's just so complex. You don't want to do it all at once. So you want to take small bite-sized steps. The next thing that we have is data extraction. So in the code, all of the graphics you see, like the little options menu, the pistol on the menu, the status bar, things like that, those are all stored in files. But then in the code, there is these special lists to kind of tell you where those are located. And if you ever wanted to create a new one, you'd have to go in, change the engine, and so on. And so I've done some changes to those in the game so that it allows me to further modify those outside of the engine. Albeit they are still hard coded in the engine to a degree. But like I said earlier, it's one step to the path that it'll eventually come out of the engine. So the things that I've done, the graphics, the maps were very cool because that one wasn't just changing the list. It allowed just a complete overhaul of how it handled map progression, which is that on par to EC Wolf's, where you can go from map 01 to map 04 or map 03 or map 06. So you can go all over the place if you specify it that way. The original game, it would just add one to the map number and move on to that. Add one to the map number, move on from that. A little bit less rigid or less available. I changed up a few menus to go in this setting, but not all of them because every menu has different menu items and they're not all really wired up. That one's going to be a little bit more complicated. Next up, I've got sprites. Pretty straightforward. Those weren't too bad to change. Music, sounds, those are pretty easy as well. And then a funny one is colors. All the colors and the backgrounds, things like that, they're all hard coded. And then if you build it for Spear, they're hard coded different colors. So I pulled those out and set them as certain names like maroon and black, white, and all the basic colors that were needed. I'm sure there's better names for them, but at some point they'll kind of build themselves into a theme, or a common name, or you just set them like I want to set the borders for the windows or the backgrounds and stuff. And then the Wolf 3D setup would take red colors, the Spear setup would take blue color. So what's next? Uh, we still got to finish the IMF and AdLib stuff. I haven't touched it at all this month. Still sounds jank as ever. The next thing I want to do in terms of data extraction is get the item definitions and the actor definitions out of there, because those are still hard coded to what items are allowed in the game or what positions they are in the mapping. Same goes for the actors as well and all their animation frames. Those can easily come out. From what PFWolf does, they turn all the items into actors and they kind of all come together as one. So I'm going to take it in a couple of steps because it's going to be pretty complicated and pretty data intensive to pull all that out. I'm going to continue to do the menus. Hopefully I can get most of those out too. And then if I got time, I'm going to start putting it into the PK3 file. I don't have one yet in this version. I did do it in another version, but I've kind of restarted this project a handful of times to kind of find my place. And then with this, I'm hoping that I can start planning for Spear of Destiny support. That's still a long ways out, but since the Wolf 3D base game it's functional, you can play it and everything like that, why not start thinking about how I can get Spear of Destiny in there as well? So let's revisit my 2026 goals for the year. Still want to do the monthly updates. 2 down. We got, 8 more months of the year left to go? Let's see if we can try to keep up with the updates. I still want to do Let's Plays, but as you see, they kind of separated them out there. They're still on my radar, but these are like other things that I haven't quite figured out when and how I'm going to do them yet. I do want to do streaming at late night. Good news is my nightly schedule is starting to get better. So I'm able to have a little bit more free time in the evenings. I can go to bed a little later than I usually do. So it's not out of the question. Honestly, right now, it's after the kids went to bed. Perfect time to do it. And I still am thinking about how I want to do these Wolf 3D How It Works videos. I've said it. It sounds like a broken record, but I still want to do them. I just haven't figured out how I want to do them yet. So it's a different challenge, but I think we'll figure it out. All right, thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in May. Thanks for your support.